Everybody, I'm in a new kitchen. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Kathy Hester, and welcome to my best friend Dawn's kitchen, because you're not in my kitchen today. And in fact, the funny thing is we're going to do an unboxing, and we're unboxing Dawn's Instant Pot. I came this close to ordering an Instant Pot to get delivered here in Texas for her to let me unbox, but she magically listened to me and got some of the things that I talked about for Black Friday. So I'm here through Monday, so I'm probably going to do some more unboxings too. So if you're here, I see some people are here, go ahead and say hi and give me some comments. I'm not getting any comments, so I'm hoping everything's working right. Let's see. Let me just go one place. Aha, yay! Ashley, thank you so much. I'm on a new computer and we're on my iPad and my iPhone and doing all the things. Yay, Cheryl's here too. So Cheryl has been at home and accepting my delivery of the Instant Pot Pro. And I went to look up right before this because last year I kind of gifted myself a little fancy one like this, but it was pre-pro. You know how Instant Pot kind of will do the Nova and the this and the Duo Plus this and the, you know, all the things. So evidently it was a halfway model. But there are a couple things that I think are really pretty awesome. I also double checked before I went live. And depending on where you're watching this, somewhere around in there, I've got a link to Amazon. These right now are still $79 instead of $129. If you're not if you don't need a new Instant Pot, you don't have to have this one. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I like it as we're unboxing it, and we'll talk about some of those things. Miss Nancy McDermott, hello, and Marilyn's here. Yay, Marilyn, I'm closer to you because I am in Houston, Texas. So I'm as close to Baton Rouge as I get lately, and it's great to see you. And Cindy is here, and that is awesome too. And so it's wonderful to have all you guys. So I am not trying to talk you into yet another Instant Pot. However, Instant Pots don't last forever, so if yours is starting to kind of, you know, need to be replaced, or if you are one of those who've decided you need two, this is a really good deal. It costs the same price as the Duo. So let's, here, I like the little top of this. Hey, Miss Liz, how are you today? I know, it's awesome to see you as well. I kind of like this, make dinner like a pro, right? And so I just think that's hilarious. So I love unboxings. And look, there's little QR codes that no one's ever going to click on. Or maybe you guys do. You can get an Instant Pot app for this. Unless you ask me about it, I probably won't do it. It is called the Pro now. So let's see. I didn't pre-open any of this, and Dawn was so good, she wouldn't let anybody touch it. All right, let's see. I want to go this way. Woohoo! I'm going to do this. Ha! There we go. Now that's upside down to you, isn't it? I'm going to go like this. I'm not in my kitchen anymore, people. So what's included? I like when they do these things like they give us a little more clues. So we've got the steam rack, we've got an extra ceiling ring, and I think that Milsey adding that actually got Instant Pot to add that. So why would you even need an extra ceiling ring? Because you might make something stinky. Maybe you make a curry or some Thai food, and by stinky I don't mean it's not delicious. By stinky I mean all those smells and flavors are going to get captured in that silicone ring. So there's a couple things you can do. One is you can have different colors, one for sweet, like oatmeal. You don't want your oatmeal tasting like your doll, most of the time anyhow. Even if you're an adventurous oatmeal connoisseur, like I am. The other thing I do is so there's an Instant Pot lid, there's another Instant Pot here. Another one of Dawn's. And I can smell the chili she made last night because I didn't do what I usually do, which is I put the lid upside down. And what happens is it lets some of that come out. You can also put it in baking soda and do all these other things, but I'm lazy. You guys know I'm lazy. So that's what that's about. Okay, we have Getting Started Guide, which we'll look at. This, oh, I need to go back to the other camera. Here we go. So I'm pointing things and not showing you. So this lid is going to look a lot different. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then this inner pot has dun, 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 handles, which is super cool. And it's also approved to go into the stovetop, though hearsay says that you could put the other one on the stovetop. Instant Pot says not to do it. But so there we go. And I've got some questions. Rob and Dawn are actually my friends that I'm staying with. So you're seeing that. That place looks familiar. Aren't these cabinets pretty? I love the colors. They didn't believe me. I came in and I'm like, I really like it. And Nancy says clues are good. Yes, clues are very good all the time. Fragrant. That's a better word than stinky. Nancy's a Southern belle, and I just am me. So you know how that goes. Oh, and Nancy goes, hashtag oatmeal connoisseur. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful color too. All right, let's go. Let's continue. You know how I can go on and on about this. So you've got some more things here. Hey, you can visit instantpot.com in case you weren't sure. They're going to tell you the second time. There's some stuff. Another QR code that I'm never going to use until you tell me to. Look at this. That's interesting. So I wonder if this makes the box more recyclable. What's the... Okay, I got to get the light. It just says PE on the handle. So I don't know if that's recyclable, but that's kind of interesting. That just pops right on off of there. Try not to knock my phone off. Pro. That's what you're going to be. A pro. All right. More QR codes. They're back. They're in. And we'll look at this in a minute. It's a little too close, right? There's your extra ring. It's red. And it's a silicone ring. So typically when you're going to wash after you've done something, you're going to remove this and clean it really good. Especially if you natural pressure release. So let's talk about this a minute. Natural pressure release versus manual pressure release, or quick pressure release, depending on what recipe you're looking at. That's when you know, if you've got the dough, you go, here's the little thing. Or if you guys have seen my dragon, I put the dragon on, it goes, right? When we do that, more stuff gets on the top of the lid. However, when you use natural pressure release, which I use a lot, that stuff doesn't ever really come up to the top because the pressure pushes it down, which makes it easier to clean. Lazy person tip, if you would like it. Okay. Oh, and Mary's saying, did I move? No, I'm at my friends in Houston, Texas, hanging out for the week, helping out a little bit. So it's kind of crazy. I think when I leave, I will have been here 11 days. So if they've not murdered me and shipped me off, I think we're doing really good. You guys can't hear Dawn. Dawn went, ah. No, they're awesome. And Dawn is my best friend. So, and hey, Miss Susan, how are you today? All right, we've got some recyclable thing here that looks eco-friendly, as far as I can tell. All right. And they always put these things on to make sure that the prongs don't get messed up in shipping. It's kind of good to keep this little thing, especially if you're going to move. Cheryl is queen of keeping the boxes of our appliances and like our Apple laptops and things like that. So should we want to resell it, we can put it all back together, which is kind of cool. Okay, now back to this. All right. There's a little bit of cushion in here, which is good. That's probably not recyclable, but that's not very much compared to things that usually happen. All right. The bottom of the box is more like the top of the box. So I think it's just those two pieces, those L pieces. And perhaps, so we're looking at these guys and the handle and this plastic bag that's holding it. I think that's all that might not be recyclable. So those of you who are going for zero waste, this might not be perfect, but it might be better. It's definitely better than it used to be. All right, so we've got this big bag. I'm going to put all of this stuff over to the side. And we're going to talk about this lid a little bit. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Should we do? Okay, actually, we can just do this really quick. Well, all right, so I'm opening the lid. We're going to look at the lid and some of its accoutrement labels in a moment. Okay, so this is one thing to look out for, because any Instant Pot or things like this are going to have all these messages to you. Big orange warning messages, and we will look at that momentarily. So let's open this guy out. Not out, we're going to open him up. See, look at the handles. And they stay cool too, which is kind of nice. So the plus on the handles versus the minus on the handles. If you have another Instant Pot, you can't switch pots in this one, because see how this has the holes for the handle. So it needs to be this kind of pot. You can get extra ones, but I know one person was talking about they were disappointed in that. Okay. We have our trivet. It looks like a new improved design. So let's see what we got here. So we're racking up some plastic bags, but honestly, you probably can reuse those in your garbage or things like that. So this is for cooking pot and pot, so that you could put a steamer on here if you wanted to, or different things. You could cook on cauliflower. So we could do like a super cool, like Indian spiced cauliflower roast in here. I have a recipe, I think, for that. One of the cookbooks, either the ultimate vegan cookbook for your Instant Pot or gluten-free vegan cooking in your Instant Pot. I'm so glad I'm going to be doing my own next book, because I can have a shorter name that I can remember and say. Maybe it'll be like Kathy's Recipes. It won't be that, but okay. So we got that. We were expecting that. We've got this nice thing in here. We have a message. Okay, let's look. We have a message in multiple languages. So anytime, you want to make sure, A, that you're getting all these pieces out, because they could be hiding somewhere. And so this one says, read all warning cards and warning stickers, remove all packaging and removable warning cards from the cooker and accessories. Read all instructions, paying special attention to important safeguards before using the pressure. Don't place your hands, face, or unprotected skin over the steam release valve handle while this is in operation. Hopefully that's not something you needed to know, but what that does mean, if you have cats that get up on the counter, or you just want to be really careful. Also, since we're going to be releasing pressure and stuff, we don't want to do it under these cabinets. So how I do mine at home is I actually push it underneath with the lid on. Actually, you can't see that. So, right, we're pretending it's in everything. So that way I have to pull it out to put the food in it, which means I never pull it out without the liner in it. And that's very important too. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to pour water and beans and all kinds of stuff. And most people will do it eventually. So I like keeping it that way. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I think this is the steam release thing. I don't think it's put together yet. That's exciting. Okay, but if you have kids or things like that, you're going to have to monitor them. That's all. It's probably too far away for them to get to anyhow, but just be careful. Alrighty. So let's look at this one. So here, I'll finish talking about this one. they're saying when performing the initial test run, which is also known as the water test, which I've never done before on video, because usually I make chai tea. So if you've gotten a new one, you can wash up this inner container. Then what you can do is make chai tea. Because I look at it this way, if it is, you're just making sure it's not defective. So if it is defective, I can pop that chai right on the stove, so I lose nothing. They just want to make sure everything's working right, you didn't get a lemon, things like that. Also, you don't want to fill it higher than the PC Max 3/4 line. So, and it's real clear. And these in here, it's on quarts and liters now. It used to be in like this strange rice cooker way. So that's pretty much everything. It says exercise extreme caution when cooking and venting foods such as applesauce, cranberries, pearl barley, oatmeal split peas noodles. And it's because of the froth that can happen, and theoretically it could go ahead and like clog up the spout a little bit, the release valve. So, you know, do I do it? Absolutely. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's not a big deal. And let's see. Apple's here! Yay! This is my best friend Dawn's kitchen in Houston, Texas. So I am here helping out and vacationing for a little while. So I wanted to do a few lives. I'm going to see if I can do Vlogmas again. And Dawn has enough things that I've been wanting to she got enough things that I suggested on Amazon that I may be unboxing for the rest of this week. And Marilyn said she makes the chai tea, and you can get the chai tea recipe on plant-based-instantpot.com. Up in the upper right hand corner, just look up chai. Easy peasy. Okay, so we've done the one that was inside. Now this is the one that was at the bottom. And basically it says, warning, never use the Instant Pot without the stainless steel inner pot. Don't put food, liquid, or foreign objects on the heating element. And make sure it's clean. So, and this is what it looks like without this. Okay, and those are recyclable. And I'm going to go ahead and open this. The one thing I didn't do was clear the plug. So do you guys have any questions? How was your Thanksgiving? While I'm untwisting the twisty tie. I flew out to Houston on Thanksgiving Day and got here like 8 o'clock at night is what I did. So I'm going to put this in here, and I'll let you see from above what that looks like too, right? So see how that fits right in there? And your little thing can fit in there. I'm going to put it in there just so that it can sterilize. And I am going to try to put my short self over here to stretch. I'm not quite in the plug. Hey, Rob, can you push this in the plug? You're not on camera. It's overhead. He's like, no, I cannot. Thank you very much. No. Yay. Okay. All right, so let's look at the lid next. We've got this set aside and it's ready when we are, and there's a different set of front controls. So I'll see if I can hold those up there. It looks kind of a little more like it's in between what I have and the Ultra. So we'll see how all that works. And there's actually favorites. I could probably show you in the book in a minute. Okay, so we've got this. We have warnings here, here, and here. One says hot metal, don't touch when it's hot. And that's for the red thing. One thing, if you have a Duo, I used Dawn's Duo the other day and burned myself because it's one of the Pioneer woman ones, and I didn't realize the parts that were hot. Also, see that little red guy right there? That comes up, so it's real easy to tell when it's on pressure. So we're going to take that label off. Maybe. Okay. I've left this one on and not had any problem. And basically that says, use only the Instant Pot lid. When the float lid, which is that red thing, is up, that means the pressure is up. You won't be able to open or close, open the lid. That's why we have to release the pressure. Okay. And then this is the pressure release valve. Hey, Liz. Liz says Thanksgiving isn't a thing here, but I'm sure you'll forgive me as I live approximately 1.5 miles from where the original Harry Potter was written. Absolutely. You know me, don't you? I can feel that. Yes, of course, I forgive. No one needs to have Thanksgiving for me to like them. And oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying seeing the pro. Okay, there are a couple things about the lid, which is why I actually like this a lot. That tape is on there like serious. Okay. All right, so this was actually in our liner, and this is the same thing you guys all have, right? That spits out all the steam and goes, woo! This is just venting. See how it pops it? Can you see it pop up a little bit? Yeah, you can kind of see that. How it tilts it. That's how it does it. So that's all well and good, right? This is the magic piece. So I found with this, the system that they have here, I can release the steam even if it's something like potatoes or a soup or something like that. So Joanne had been saying, you're using that one a lot now in classes, and I am, because when I have to do the duo and go, pss, 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 it takes a really long time. And this I can kind of leave it be, okay? And it's just this for releasing the pressure, which is pretty awesome. So then there's another thing on here. Now this is both happy and angering. So you can take this part off. And what it's for is to kind of help you let the pressure come down faster. I didn't bring this with me, but there is a $10 additional charge thing that fits right here that you put ice in. And so I think it should come with it, since there's just two. However, Instant Pot did not ask my opinion, and I bought one. I haven't used it yet, so maybe we'll do that once I get home. But that's what this is. I was thinking just because it had more holes, right, instead of being so solid, that might do something, but it doesn't. It has to do with the ice that can go in there. All right. So what we're going to do is the water test. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can move this so you can see. Can we move it that far down? Oh no. Are you feeling seasick yet? I think we can do it about there. Nope. Okay. You're just going to have to believe me when it comes to that. Let's see, that's about where I've been having it, I think. Maybe go a little bit further. I have a big iPad Pro that could just plop off of there and break into a million pieces. Cheryl is probably having a nervous breakdown right now watching this. Okay. What I'm going to do, for now we're not going to look at the buttons. I promise you another view of this. So I am going to put in some water. We're going to do the water test while we talk about some of the other things in here. So like 2 to 3 things of water, cups. Put this on. Okay. So you're just going to have to watch my face as I'm perplexing, trying to figure this out. So it does have like pressure cooker, rice grain. I think we're going to have some pictures in the book that we can look at easier. So I'm going to pressure cook this. I'm going to do it for custom time because we almost always use custom for pressure cook. And I just want this. Let's see. Okay, doing this lets me go from low to high. I want it to be high pressure, so it is like the Ultra that way. There is also a start button, and you know what that means. And I am just going to put this to 3 minutes. And now I'm going to press start. If I didn't press start, nothing is going to happen. And I've done that in classes before. And what that means is then you just don't have your dinner cooked when you think you do. See if anybody else. Okay. So we're going to look in the book. And I'm going to see if I can read upside down while I'm showing you things. Usually I'm pretty good at it. So we've got some getting started. So you can see here a little bit here. You can see it's not super clear. Did that help? No, that didn't help at all. There we go. That helped. So see how I was saying there's buttons down here. There's some things you can pre-program. They're like favorite 1, fave 2, fave 3. You get 5 of those. Along the side, there's pressure cook, rice, steam, saute, slow cook, sous vide, yogurt, and bake. So we've talked about this before, but you don't really need all those. So steam does different. Steam actually heats it up more from the bottom. And if you're steaming or pressure cooking anything, it's super important to always have a half a cup to a cup of liquid at the bottom. So that's why if we were going to steam that cauliflower on the rack, we would have some water in there. Without the water, it won't come up to pressure. With the steam function, it's going to overheat it and cause some issues. So just make sure you're doing that. I have not used the sous vide function yet, but there's recipes for making yogurt and rice. I have a really popular how to make red rice at Plant-Based Instant Pot. I'm actually just made pink rice yesterday, and I'm working on a post about that. We're probably going to make black rice or forbidden rice tonight. It's very exciting. Rice-a-rama is what we're doing here today. So let's see if there's anything in here, because it's going to take, like anything else, I'm just going to do this. I'm sorry that you can sort of see me here looking at this, so I'm not just like, I'm ignoring you. It's lots of safeguards about the model. So model 60 is the 6 quart, model 80 is the 8 quart. And then it talks about how to put that steam lid together just like you saw me do. And they call that fancy cover the Quick Cool protective cover, which is exciting. And we didn't talk, but there is position markers open and closed, though you hear it click. So it's easy to go ahead and put on that lid. It talks about all the parts, the fill indicators, and then we've got some troubleshooting. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Who got a new Instant Pot this week with the Amazon Prime sale stuff? Did any of you guys? Because I got this model because I've been doing some Instant Pot classes. Those of you who attended my last Instant Pot class, I appreciate you because I blew fuses. So I ended up with kind of this setup at home instead of my normal setup. But I would be really interested if anybody got an Instant Pot or an air fryer. One of the things I'm going to be unboxing is going to be the stainless steel Vitamix container, which I'm excited about, and I'm going to make some ice creamless milkshakes. So I've got to see what's in the kitchen, but we could make chocolate peppermint ones for the holiday. Dawn, do you like peppermint? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dawn says yes on the peppermint. Okay.
Not experiment.
Well, we would get we need to go to Trader Joe's anyhow, so usually they have some peppermint extract, or you might have some in your fridge, or your pantry. I don't know where I am. I can hear it start to come up, so it's doing something. And usually when you're using one of these new appliances the first time, you're going to smell a little bit of the plastic smell. So we talked about this, I think it was in my class. I got a new air fryer. I got it at Costco. It's the Sur La Table. I'm pretty sure the same manufacturer as the Instant Pot one that I recommended. And they even talked about going ahead and cooking in it, get that smell out, and then moving on. So in that way, it is nice to do a water test or something else because any of that off-gassing isn't happening to your food. And Marilyn bought a Pro as well. I'm pretty sure Joanne did, and I don't know who else might have. And Apple says, yum, chocolate peppermint. Yeah, I even got some peppermint candies, some crushed already. Here, we can, I think we're going to get to see this. I don't have my fan here either, huh? So see? There you go. That actually went up to pressure much faster than I thought it would. I'm pretty psyched. So I wanted to make, it is on sealing instead of venting. You want to make sure, just like with any other Instant Pot. So it's still showing me preheat on here. So like the other one, like some of the Ultras and stuff, it's showing preheating, cooking time, keeping warm time. So that's nice. It's nice to know instead of like, because how hot or cold it is can even change the amount of time that it takes. And now it is officially started. It's 3 minutes. Okay, so let's see if I'm doing it right. I didn't read the water test. To the first line, they're super specific. They're like, connect the power source. It should show off, but you know, they did it 5 minutes. You don't need to wait those extra 2 minutes. And then they're talking about venting methods. Okay, so we talked a little bit. So quick pressure release is when you are manual, when you physically do it. So on this Instant Pot, that means moving that from slot A to slot B, from sealing to venting. If you've got a Duo like this, you know, it's from here to here. And when I'm talking about, because like a lot of times I'll just go, because if you do this, condensation is going to come out eventually. So if you just let it free flow, you're waiting till stuff gets over, and then it's hard to clean up. And you can also get cool 3D printed dragons to go on here so that it wouldn't go up on your cabinets or things like that. So a lot of times, like with rice or some of the other dishes, you might actually want to let it natural pressure release, which is awesome, which means don't do anything for 15 minutes or till the little thing goes tink and falls back down where you can open the lid. And depending on who you are and how you like to do things or whose recipe you're using, you may use one more than the other. So Jill Newsonow, she wants to eat now. So what she does is she'll cook it for extra time but use a quick pressure release. I tend to like to use the natural pressure release so I don't have to be around. And because of that, during that release time, it's actually cooking more. Because one of the things you can do with your Instant Pot is you can cook for 0 minutes. And what that means is all the time it took to come up to pressure, that's cooking. All the time it takes to come down from pressure, that's cooking. So it's still on heat being cooked. So if you wanted to do like super delicate vegetable like asparagus or broccoli and you like yours al dente, try that. You could also try it on, depending on the model of Instant Pot you have, on low pressure, right, for 0 minutes. So if high pressure 0 minutes, you're like, it's ruined, then try that. Another thing you can do, or when I do layered meals, is I might wrap that up in parchment, then in foil, right? And that slows down the cooking process as well. So those are all options. So that was our 3 minutes. That went faster than I expected. I'm very excited. Let's see what questions we've got. Oh, Marilyn said she bought the coffee spice grinder I recommended. I'm going to be doing some spices again soon. So I like the one, I put a couple of different ones that were on sale, and I'll try and come back for this, but if or you can email me at kathyhester@gmail.com if you want the link. I made a little pseudo pin board on my Amazon influencer account of the things that I found that I talk about all the time. There were some things that go inside your Instant Pot. There were some blenders. I got the Ninja, there's a new Ninja small blender, and one has the little twisty things almost like the Blendtec. So I'm going to give that a go, because if we don't like it, that's one thing with Amazon. If you don't like it, you can send it back. And now sending it back means maybe take it to your Whole Foods, depending on where you live. So that's kind of nice too. Okay, so we're going to find out if this one really does what my other one did. So that's still pretty good. I'm going to move it a little further back from my phone just because usually I have a fan. And I'd like to not kill it. But see how fine that mist is? It's really fine. And if you want to, you can, like I'm doing now, being overly cautious. But look at that. And that's nothing but water. So normally that's going to put, see how the water droplets on the inside of that plastic cup instead of all over your counter and all over my phone. And I do find that this goes down fairly quickly. And this one thing is one of my favorites. I know Dawn wanted it because of the handles. The handles are really nice to take it in and out if it's hot. See, look how fast that was. And you can see it was really hot because now I'm steaming up everything. And also, one thing the water test does too, so now all of this has been kind of sterilized a little bit. There is a sterilize proper function. So if you're a little on the particular side, like my friend Dawn is, I'm going to talk to her later about how we could just sterilize it. And that will make her happy. She's still going to want to wash it with soap. God love her. But I probably would too. We're OCD just in different ways. And we still have our lid holders on either side. And the first time you do this, so my other one, the lid was very similar. And I was doing in class. And so some water doesn't come out necessarily the same way. So shake it a little extra. Be careful to not have it go toward your arm because I burned myself. So keep it a little bit away. And there you go. Rob's your uncle. So that's really all there is to it. So we can look for a second at the underneath, which looks slightly different, but not much. You've still got that you can take off. That you can clean up in there. This is what we can remove and clean. That's what we saw. And so they gave us a red one. So probably if your Instant Pot doesn't seal and it doesn't come up to pressure, the first thing to do is see if this is in properly. We probably should have checked that first, but I kind of like the wild, wild west of these things. I probably would make this the savory, more fragrant foods. This, the more dessert oatmeal kind of thing. I'm trying to see if there's anything else you need to know. I think that pretty much would get you up and running with everything. You can get extra inserts should you want them. Most people don't need them. And if for some reason something burns on your insert and like gets really, really burnt, Cheryl is super good at that, and she uses Barkeeper's Friend, I think it is. She's gotten everything I've ever burned on stuff out with that. What I usually do is just put a little bit of dish detergent, fill it up with water, let it sit 12 to 24 hours. Then I'll scrub off what works, and I'll repeat that until it comes out or until I call Cheryl and ask her to help me fix it. So that's the way that goes. Do you guys have any questions at all? You've stayed here through all this, so the only thing I could show you, let's see this. I can show you the buttons a little bit. Let's see if I'm going to be hand holding this, so this could make you a little bit dizzy sick. So that's, there we go. That's kind of what we're looking at here, the faves, right? And there's this thing that you're doing the buttons. But other than that, I think we're pretty good. And I'm sorry for making you guys a little seasick. I'm not seeing any questions, and I'm seeing some people drop off, but I am thrilled to see you guys happy, whatever you're celebrating. It is the holiday season of all the holidays. So whatever you're celebrating, I'm wishing you a happy one. If that's an American Thanksgiving or anything else in between. And if you have some super cool holidays in the country that I don't live in, please tell me, because maybe I need to celebrate them too. Oh, Marilyn says she loves Dawn's kitchen. I know, those cabinets are amazing. So I'm trying to get them to move to North Carolina, and maybe Rob will paint my kitchen cabinets, and I can have a cool color. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you, Apple. Thank you, Susan. Dawn, I can't leave my cabinets. That is not true. So let me assure you, but that is her way of saying thank you for adoring my cabinets as much as I do. So you guys, I'm not sure exactly what my schedule is going to be for all these things, since I am kind of on vacation too. But I am thinking peppermint chocolate shake should be happening, so I'll make that with oats, water. We're going to make it with a little bit of ground chia seed. Do you guys have a spice grinder? Okay, they have a spice grinder, so we can grind. When I say ground chia seeds for these drinks, what I want them to be is like really ground, not like when you buy a bag of ground chia seeds, because they're still pretty lumpy. So we can do that. Okay. All right, everybody, have an amazing, amazing rest of your day and into tomorrow, of course. This was the Instant Pot Pro, which again is still on sale. This is past Cyber Monday and Giving Tuesday, right? It's Wild Wednesday. And it seems to be that way on Amazon. So a lot of things are still staying on sale. So keep an eye out. Don't give up if you've decided you wanted something, because I don't know about you, but my inbox was like overblown. And another thing is, probably tomorrow I'm going to be talking to you about a vegan foodie bundle that I'm in. And my savory oat class is in there. So we'll talk more. This isn't a free bundle. This is one of the paid bundles, so you're getting bigger full products. Or at least from everybody else except for me. I tend to give big products whatever I do. All right, guys. Have an amazing day, and I will be talking to you very, very